What's up? It's the Mad Hatter logging in, the dude y'all love to hate, and I'm here to bring a little bit of knowledge to the public. Today, I'm going to talk about the much debated, the heated topic of Black Lives Matter. Now, when I say that name, how does that make you feel? You know, if you're already opposed to Black Lives Matter, how does that make you feel? Like you get angry. But why do you get so angry? Like what are the first things that come to your mind? Oh, it's Black Lives Matter is racist. Really? In America, out of all things that are racist, Black Lives Matter is racist? Or are you just saying that for argumentative purposes? Is it really racist when the people who make it up are diverse? Have you seen a Black Lives Matter crowd? Most of the crowds are really diverse, so that wouldn't make sense. You look at a Ku Klux Klan gathering, it's all white people. So yeah, there's definitely that. But I think what really gets at the heart of it is that black people aren't supposed to matter. So that's why when we say Black Lives Matter, the first thought that goes through a lot of people's mind, or the knee-jerk reaction, is that no, black lives don't matter. But people can't just come out and say that, because that would be horrible. So people try these little tricks, these diversion tricks, and they say things like, well, other lives matter too. Why are black people only saying their lives matter? Nobody's saying that only black lives matter. That's like saying, if my grandma died and I'm going to her funeral and I'm like, God bless my grandma, that's like you coming into the hospital and being like, well, what about my grandma? God bless her too. Yeah, nobody said don't bless your grandmother. But when there's an issue at hand, which is black people getting gunned down and killed by cops without consequences for those police officers, when that's going on, that's a problem. Now, is there black on black crime? Of course there is. But we can chew gum and walk at the same time. Chew gum and talk at the same time. Now, you can also say that a lot of other races get killed by police officers. So why are you so worried about Black Lives Matter? Because when it's a black person who gets killed, more than likely you don't even hear about it, and it gets swept under the rug. And there's no indictment, there's no prosecution, there's no conviction. There's rarely ever, unless it's like a really, really bad case. But luckily we have cameras now to expose that. But imagine all the stuff that we didn't catch when we didn't have cell phones. You can't tell me that these killings, these crazy cop killings and these confrontations between police officers and black people is a recent phenomenon. No, this has always been going on. Now we just have the technology to be able to see what's actually happening. And I also want to rebut a lot of people who don't believe in the movement. And then not even if you don't believe in the movement, but if you're spreading false narratives about the movement. When's the last time you saw a black officer shoot an unarmed white teenager? When's the last time? If you can show me the time when that happened, sure. I'll say Black Lives Matter might be racist. If you can show me that time. And if you can show me that time, which I don't think you can, but let's say that you can find something. Was that officer prosecuted? Were they indicted? Were they convicted? Also, show me the last time a black person killed an officer that got off. You know, a lot of the criticism is that, well, black people kill a lot of police officers. First off, it's the safest it's ever been to be a police officer in this country. But let's take you on that argument that, yeah, like black people kill police officers, which does happen. It happened in Dallas and it happened in Baton Rouge. By the way, those were veterans, black veterans who might have been suffering from PTSD, but that's a different story. So let's say, yeah, we want to focus on, you know, black people killing cops. What happened to those black people? Were they indicted? Were they prosecuted? Were they convicted? Chances are, yes, they were. And that's what people are talking about, is the double standard in the justice system. And if you can't see that, then you'll never understand. And this video that I'm making, a lot of speeches that people are having, those are not made for people like you. If you don't understand that, you never will understand that until something happens to you. Now, let's talk about the black community. Does the black community have problems? Of course. Of course it does. You know, it's like, okay, let's talk about black on black crime. Black on black crime is a problem. For the fact that we're 8% of the population, however, we account for, I think it's somewhere around 92% of black on black crimes, or 92% of crimes on black people are by other black people. But this also happens for white people. It's about 84% for white people, and it's a similar rate for other races. Now, you can think that black people are somehow innately more dangerous than the rest of the population, but that would be racist to think. Black people have responsibility for their actions. At the same time, you got to look at society and what black people have been subjected to. In the ghettos, not being able to get loans, not being able to get jobs, having to use different facilities and educational systems and institutions, having to use different all of those than everybody else. But black on black crime is an issue. Other issues are, criminal issues, period. You've got educational issues that happen with the black community. But how much of that, again, is the setting and the environment that black people have been placed into since coming to this country? Now, let me top that off by asking you, if you're the type of person who only wants to focus on black crime, I just admitted as a black person, yes, of course we have issues as black people. But can you admit to the issues that you have within your racial community? Are you willing to acknowledge that? If you're so willing to make black people acknowledge and Muslim people acknowledge what's happening in their community, you should also be willing to do the same thing with your community. And if you're not pushing to criticize your community in the same manner that you're criticizing the black community, then really your input is null and void. That's where I want to leave that. I know this ran long, but hey, trying to drop a little knowledge. I know I'm gonna get a whole bunch of nasty comments, but like I said, bring it on. Like, if you're talking some dumb shit, I'm not gonna respond to you. But if you're actually bringing something, someone intelligent, we'll go on and we'll talk. But I'm always open-minded. But if you're not open-minded, fuck you.